Hello, my beautiful designers. Yes, you are a designer. If you clicked on this video, your inner designer brought you here to solve a problem. All right, guys. So, if you're new here, my name is Ifiansa. I film about art, culture, and design. I am a project manager and an interior designer, and I like to bring you along on my entrepreneurship journey and teach you a thing or two that I've been learning and just basically share what I do with you. Now, let me just pause and say a huge thank you to all my new subscribers. I really, really appreciate it. I love the comments that keep coming up and the emails. Keep sending me the emails and the comments. I'm happy to answer your questions and yeah, and to bring you along on my journey as well. All right, guys. So in today's video, I'm actually talking about an interior designer's role in the construction phase of your building project. Now, as I said in a past video, sometimes we think that the interior designer's job is at the end of the building project where we come and just put all the nice things so you can admire them. No, it's actually very, very useful to bring your interior designer in at the very early stages of your project, even from your floor plan phase, when you are first developing your ideas and stuff. It's always great to get an interior designer's inputs so you can achieve the final goal or vision of your project. So in this particular video, I'm going to be showing you what I did during the floor phase of the project. Okay, so now the floor is where the ground floor is done. This is a two-story building. Okay, so the ground floor has been done and we are working on the first floor. Now, before you do the first floor, we do what we call the floor. So from your ground floor looking up, if you are currently in a building that has a top floor, just look up. That wall that you see between you and the first floor, that's what in construction we call the floor. Okay, now within that thick wall that you see, or what the thick floor that you see, electrical cables, piping, and stuff for the next floor. So there are certain electrical considerations and plumbing considerations that need to be made very early in your project. Okay. Now, for me, there were a couple of things that I was very particular about, and these are the lighting plan, the power plan, and the water supply plan. Now, the lighting plan is what will show us where all your light fixtures will go. So sometimes you walk into a space and you see that they have different types of lights. You have maybe your main lighting, which is like maybe one nice chandelier, and then around it is probably surrounding spotlights. So those very little nice lights that you see in rooms, or maybe you even want a fan in a particular room, where those things will go. Usually that's shown in on your lighting plan. Okay, now your power plan would usually indicate where your switches go. So when you walk into a room, the thing you click on to turn your light on or off, yes, that's what we call a switch. And then we have wall sockets. In some countries, they call them wall outlets. So there's wall outlets, wall sockets. If you're in Ghana, your electrician probably calls it a socket. Yeah, so that's where your power outlets would be, where you plug in your laptop, your TV, your electronics. That's what they call the sockets or the outlets. And with that, it's always best to know the type that you want ahead of time so that your electrician can take that into consideration as well. Now, where your air conditioning is going to go, that's very important for me, especially because when we finally have to put curtains and stuff up and you want to do what everyone is doing now, where we put your curtains really high up so it gives you that nice long view, or that long look of, or high ceiling look. You don't want your air conditioning in the way, so if you're able to plan that ahead of time, that's also great. Your fire alarm systems, where that is going to go, your smoke detectors and your heat detectors. Now your heat detector is typically in the kitchen. If you put a smoke detector in the kitchen, you always have it going off because there's almost always smoke in the kitchen. So you want to have a heat detector in the kitchen. And then where your TV cables are gonna go, they call them the causal cables, I think. And then where your doorbell is going to go, if you're going to have video footage. You want to take all of that into consideration as well. And then where your distribution board goes. If you are in Ghana, you know how annoying it can look when you walk into someone's living room or their entryway and there's this huge distribution board. Distribution board is where all your electricals connect to. So if there's an issue and you have an electrician come in, that's the first thing that he's going to look for, so he can fix whatever it is that's wrong, or will be able to identify what the issue is. They don't look pretty, so putting it in a good location is always key. So on this particular day, I went on site with the electrician and the plumber. So for me, the water supply or the water supply plan or the plumbing plan is also very, very important to me. I've walked into some bathrooms and I'm like, oh my God, what were they thinking? And at that point, it's very difficult. It's nothing is impossible. In construction, nothing is impossible, but it can cost you a lot of money if at the tail end of your project, we have to fix certain things, or you may just have to live with it if you don't want to spend the money. That happens a lot. So in a stage like this, it was good that I was able to go on site to work with the plumber and make sure that the plumbing placements were all done right. So where your toilet pipes are going to go, where your sink pipes are going to go, where your shower or bath, it's important for the plumber to know which one you want, what your taps are going to look like, where your kitchen plumbing is going to go, and all of that. And for the floor, it may seem like, oh well, for the ground floor, hasn't haven't these things been done already? No. So your lights for your ground floor is usually done in the floor of your top floor. So assuming you don't have a floor and you don't have a top floor, before you do your roof or your ceiling, your electrician would handle some of these things. So in the video, what you can see now is just working with the electrician to place them at the right place. The plan may seem obvious to you, or it may be obvious to your architect, or it's not obvious to everyone. So sometimes you find that some of these artisans don't necessarily understand the plan, and it's always good to be able to point them in the right direction, and measure as you go. So if you want the distance between your bathtub and your toilet to be a particular dimension, you want to be able to check that. Those are some of the things your interior designer can do for you, to be able to determine if there are changes from the plan. So if maybe in the plan initially you had planned to have, let's say, one ceiling fan in a particular room, and now you realize that, this room is actually really big and I would like one on this side and one on the other side, that is the time to be able to do some of these things. Like I said, you can always make these changes later, they just end up costing you more. Okay, so in this phase, that's what I did. Basically, it was just going around with the electrician and the plumber and making sure. I actually stayed all day to make sure that they did everything right. And then for the distribution board, we put the distribution board under the stairs just so that it's not in eyes view, and we'll do something nice there as well, just so that it's not destroying the aesthetics of the space. Also, I had done a 3D design, so a lot of these things were based on that. Like I said, it's based on what you want the final product to look like. So if you have something to refer to, that's good. And it can be it could be something that you are still revising as you go, so you don't worry too much about, oh, once I do this, I have to absolutely stick with it. Not necessarily. It's good if you know what you want early and you can decide. It's also good to have a rough idea. So even if you don't have that final look in your head or in your, documented anywhere, you can still prepare for your what ifs. Okay. So what we did was, I think in the kitchen here, in a particular area, we're considering maybe putting some additional track lighting. So we made sure that the electrician provided that just in case we decide to do it. I think there are also some drop lights that we were considering for one of the walls in the living room. We're thinking we may do some cabinets there and then have some lights inside the cabinets. So those provisions have been made as well. If we decide we are not doing that anymore, then yeah, then it doesn't have to be you. So just engage as an interior designer. It's really good to engage your clients throughout the project. I always tell my clients that if you see pictures, if you see videos of whatever it is that you like, don't ever think, oh, this is above my budget, or oh, this is in another country. Still share them with me, and then we'll work together and see how we can achieve the elements within that, here in Ghana for you. So those are some of the things. I think this video, I wanted to just make it simple and for you to understand. So now you know the kind of things to consider. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. Keep liking the videos, hitting the like button. I always appreciate it when you do that. I love, 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 love seeing your comments, your questions, and I'm happy receiving emails as well. So do shoot me an email if you have any specific questions, if you don't want to put them in the comment section, or if you want to ask anything at all. And yeah, if you for my services, you can go to nicavenue.com. We sell furniture, finishes, and if you're a vendor and you want to sell your products on our website as well, you can do that. Just contact me and we'll figure it all out. So yeah, basically for this project, I was a project manager for the construction project and the interior designer. So I will add that did make this process easier for me because I had to be on site anyway, and because I understood the plans, it was easier to work with the team to get the right things done. Now in the next video, I'll show you what the process was like to do the flow itself. And yeah, and then I plan to do a video on areas within construction that you can make some money, guys. There's a lot of money to be made in the construction industry, especially now because people are still building and people are looking for cheaper options or easier ways to do things. So if you are a vendor or you have any kind of service within this industry, you should definitely look at how to put yourself out there and how you can solve problems for people, because right now that's what people are looking for. How can I solve this problem that I have so I don't spend all the money I have, seeing as the economy is not smiling. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, just have a lovely, lovely week. And if you are a designer, let me know in the comment section, what problem are you trying to solve? Why did you come to this video? Okay, guys, thank you. Bye. Okay.